Howdy, everybody. Welcome to HT's EDC. Probably not turning that around the right way. Not great at these tabletop videos. But today I am going to do a video for a good friend of mine and his daughter. This was requested to me by him. He wanted me to show a sharpening video, how I sharpen my knives. I've went over it with him before. I've got him one of these handy dandy things, and I've gave him some tutorial. But he just said he wanted something that he could reference back to. He could watch one of my videos if he forgets exactly how I did it or what have you. He wanted something for him and his daughter to reference back to. So here we go. And I'm going to preface, this is going to be a longer video. There's no way around it. I have been waiting for a candidate for a good sharpening video, and I just got this in. I'll give you a little backstory on this in a minute, and it's dull as a gourd right now. So folks, disclaimer, this is how I sharpen my knives. There is going to be some of you, and I do not want to get in a debate with you. If you sharpen your knives another way, I'm going to tell you up front, I don't do the whole get a burr on one side thing. I do alternating strokes, kind of like a Spyderco Sharp Maker. I do own one of those, and I've sharpened a mini knife on those. I'm going to show you how I sharpen a knife. We're going to do the old age-old paper trick here. That's what everybody shows, for sharpness. Whatever. We're going to do that just for a reference point for sharpness. This is how I sharpen my knives, and I promise you I have great results. I don't carry a knife in my pocket that's not sharp. I have a many of people that bring me knives to sharpen, and this is how I do it. If you sharpen another way, I'm not here to dog you. That's awesome. Do your thing. This is how I do it. And yeah, not here for a debate about you should do it this way. That's totally crap that you do it like that. I'm not doing that to you. Don't do it to me. So that being said, let's look at this knife. I just got this knife today and have done a thorough cleaning. This was a gift from a real good friend of mine, Dwayne. You know who you are. I won't say his last name, but I was gifted this morning, and I can't be happier. I have took this down to just 1,000 grit sandpaper to get off any kind of surface rust, cleaned up the liners, just gave this a good cleaning. There's going to be a full review of this, so I'm not going to go over this knife and tell you much more, but this was a gift this morning, and I'm over the moon about this knife. But it's dull as a gourd right now. So let's do the whole paper thing, folks. We're watching this. And I'm going even at an angle. It is dull. It's dull as a gourd. Don't do this at home. I know this thing is dull as a gourd. So look at that tear. It would not even start to cut whatsoever. So this is no edge whatsoever. And we're going to put an edge on this thing with this right here. Without further ado, this is the Worksharp field sharpener. It comes with 20-inch guides here. I'm going to show you how to use it. Most of you, a lot of you, this is going to be redundant. If this ain't for you, move on. This is, honestly, this video is for my buddy and his daughter. And if other people, I hope other people like this and find this informative, but I was hesitant to even do it because I know, there's going to be a lot of trolls. And anyway, we're doing it. Hopefully, anybody that's watching can get something out of this. And yeah, so without further ado and more delay, this has angles on here, and this is a 20 degree angle. And we are going to start, kind of take you through this. We have a rough diamond on this side. You flip this thing over, has another 20-degree angle, the angle guides on this side, and it is a more smoother, more of a finishing medium grit diamond. And then when you turn this thing over, it's going to have some, I'm going to go ahead and get it ready. It's going to have some ceramics back here. And each one of these steps, there's going to be like 5 steps. It even has a leather strop on the very back, which, you know, this ain't the best strop. I have other strops that I'm going to use, but I'm just going to show you that we're going to get this knife sharp, and I may take it on. I won't bore you with stropping. That can be another video. But we're going to take it through these progressions: the rough diamond, the medium diamond, and 2 stages of ceramics here. We're going to sharpen this knife. So first thing you're going to do, hopefully I'm in frame, is you're going to want to get this thing, and I start at the heel of the knife. I get my angle, and we're going to take it from hilt to tip. And we're going to come back this way and do the same thing on the other side. Trying not to take this edge. When you get down here, folks, you don't want to just run this off the edge and let it roll off the edge. You want to stop. We can come back and work that tip later if the tip needs more work, but do not just stop your tip. I'll show it to you again. Put it up here, let it get your angle, and bring it right there and stop. Come back here, set it up, and let it stop. Now I'm just going to do this. I don't have no fancy editing right now about, you know, speeding this up, but this is carbon steel blade, and I do not think it's going to take us a whole long time. I didn't choose some super steel. I did a relatively easy steel to sharpen. But each time I am just laying this down there, folks. You can put your finger right here. It gets your angle started. It gets you started. And I'm starting right up here. And I'm taking it all the way to the tip. Coming back here, getting my angle. And you just lock that wrist. Adam, I can talk to you, buddy. You just lock this wrist, you get your starting point, and you just kind of lock in, and you follow that same angle all the way through your stroke. So you don't start out here and then flatten. Yes, there is a little bit of skill. This thing is very good about getting you started, but you do have to follow this angle that it starts you on all the way through your stroke. And this thing gives you audio, folks. So you see me, I'll pick it up and I'll check it ever so often. This is going to get, right now, if you can hear that audio, it's real gritty. You use all your senses when you sharpen a knife. Your sound, your feel here. Yeah, it's going to let you know. And when this thing gets silky, it's not gritty anymore when you're going through there, you know you're ready for your next stone. But right now it is still putting an edge on this. You hear that gritty sound? It is still taking metal. It is still by far not sharp. I have no idea how long this video is going to end up being, but you have to do your work right here on this stone. You are going to get your knife sharp on this stone right here. If you're not sharp coming off your first stone, you're not going to be sharp. You're not going to make it up down the way. You have to get a good working edge right here on on your first aggressive stone. Following your bevel, locking that wrist, and following that same angle all through stroke that you start at. Now, I rolled off the table right there. Don't do that. That's what you don't want to do right there. You want to make sure you stop like right here. And this is an older Worksharp field sharpener, so it is not got as much diamond. And you see me checking that on my nail. I am starting to get an edge on this right now. That's the old nail check, folks, and it is starting to get an edge. Even up here at my tip, I'm doing pretty good. It's starting to bite. This is not where I want to be yet, so we're going to keep going a little further. But we are, I promise you, making progress. Napkin here. Check that with the old nail check. We are getting a little nail. I check it the full length of the blade to make sure there's not any dull spots on there. But we still need a little more on this first stone. But we're getting edge on this knife, folks. Hang with me. And to be honest with you, I would have this up in my hand doing it. I'm doing it tabletop just for this video for instruction purposes. But you have a thumb thing right here. You have a thumb grip on here. And you can do the same thing just like this. But I'm doing it flat. This is not the way I normally do it. So it's a little awkward for me. But for training purposes, especially if you're starting out, you probably need a good flat surface. It's probably a good idea. And I don't know if the audio's picking it up. That's not as gritty sounding on that stone now. This is where the audio comes in. It's not quite as, it's not as gritty. It's not the audibility's changed in this blade. It is already starting to smooth out some with this stone. And like I told you, you can see me here. I'm coming back and I'm kind of working that upper end of that blade, kind of that tip some, making sure, because you want, especially on a good spear point here, you want a good point on here. You don't want to be dull, everything else be good, and then your tip dull. But yeah, I can tell right now, folks, we are getting an edge on this knife. How's this tip? Do a few more strokes, and I'm simply just laying it right there, getting my angle. No different than if when I was right here. I'm coming up here and giving about an inch of that blade. Doing the same thing, just following my angle. Don't do that again. I rolled off the table there. That's a no-no. You need to be a little more careful. You want to stop it with your blade still on that diamond, like that. If you do it once or twice, it's not the end of the world. I didn't just wreck this blade. You know, everybody relax. But you want to try not to roll it off that table, because what that will do is, especially not so much in a knife like this, but on like a clip point blade, something that has a real acute blade, you'll dull that blade. You'll roll that blade over on the edge, and it will not be as pointy as you want. You know, us knife guys, we want a good pointy tip, and that rolling it off the edge just rolls over those tips, especially, like I said, on a real acute pointed blade. But yeah, can you hear that audio now, guys and gals? A lot smoother. Not near as rough, not near as gritty as we're doing strokes. I'm just kind of lightening up my pressure here. Taking some lighter pressure strokes here. You can call them finishing strokes, if you will, on this stone. and I say we're ready to move on. I have no idea where we are in time. I've got this turned down. Again, this video ain't for everybody, but we're gonna do it. And so now we're switching over. This is where we were on the coarse grit side. Now we're coming to this, more medium, more smooth sided diamond here. And it is just the same thing. This should not take near as long. You do your real work right here. This is putting the edge on this knife. This is cutting your edge into it. This now, from here on out, we're refining this edge. We're smoothing it out. If you were to run your fingertip, and you can run it, the edge of this is another thing us knife nuts do. That'll tell you if there's any nicks or whatever. But as you run your fingernail along this blade here, you can tell it has vibration. It's gritty. It's giving you feedback in that nail. That is what we call a toothy edge. So right now we are toothy, and we're going to take this toothy edge that we have and keep going to that is a lot more smooth, a lot more refined at the end. That makes sense? All right. Here we go. Same thing. Lay it down there. Get your angle. You guys hear that? Not near as gritty. It's a new stone. Kind of slowing down a little, trying not to roll this edge. Stop right up here at the corner. Lock that wrist in. See what I'm doing, guys and gals? I know there's some gals out there. Erica's EDC. She's probably cringing. She does her sharpening another way. She does the whole burr method. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. But as I'm going to show you, this little guy right here, alternating strokes, keeping an even wrist, is gonna have a sharp knife. I promise you. Stay with me. I'm already going to start lightening up these strokes. I can feel this smoothing out already on this stone. Like I said, you're not going to have to be here on these other stones long. Yeah, can you hear that audio? I hope it's coming through. It's not near as gritty as before, and I can tell that edge is refining. Oh yeah. I'll do the old nail trick again, and yes sir. Yes sir, we are definitely biting. Going to do a couple more of those tip strokes right up here. I'm a sucker for a good tip on my knife, so I always want to make sure I give a couple extra strokes right at the tip. Just the tip, right, Tim? That's the name of a podcast. That's the name of Tim's School of Fish, his new live show, by the way. Good show. Get over here and watch it. Okay, I am satisfied. Now, done the heavy grit, done the smoother grit on the diamonds. Now, this is where this comes in. And mine is kind of dirty. Probably should have cleaned this some. But these are where these ceramics come in. And as you can see, get it up here, this one has some lines. This is your rough grit ceramic. And we are going to start here. This is step 3. And we are going to finish up on a smooth ceramic that don't have these lines, like a polishing ceramic. Still, you're already a ceramic. You don't know this now, you ain't seen it, but we've got a pretty sharp knife. This is just honing it even more. And this has a guide. You guys see that? We have a guide right here on there that gives you your angle again. And again, I'm going to set this down. I hate doing this because I always hold it. But we're going to do right here. Same thing. Get your angle. Keep your angle all the way through your stroke. You guys seeing what I'm doing here? Locking that wrist. following that angle all the way through your stroke. You don't want to start here and then be here, or you don't want to start here and be here. You got to lock that wrist in. Where you start at is where you need to finish. Very important. Consistency is the key on, this is a form of freehand sharpening, by the way. I mean, it gives you kind of idiot proofs you out here, and giving you your angles that you don't have to find yourself. It gives you your angle, but you still have to follow that angle all the way through your stroke. And I can hear now my audio feedback is this is really getting smooth. When I started, even this stone, this ceramic was gritty, and it was giving me that, you know, loud, gritty vibration and sound as I was doing my strokes. I'm actually lightening up my strokes some now, folks. Not near as much pressure, I haven't mentioned this, but you ain't got to get down. You let the sharpener do the work. You don't have to, because I probably hadn't mentioned that. I should have mentioned this to start with. You don't have to put no exorbitant amount of pressure. When I first started out on that first stone, you put good pressure. You put solid pressure down on it. You get your angle. But guys, you ain't got to Hulk Hogan this thing and just try to drive it through, try to cut through your sharpener. Let your sharpener, let those diamond abrasives do the job. And when I get close, when my audio is getting right toward the end, I even lighten my strokes up some. So we are getting really close. I'm gonna shut up a second. Maybe you can hear this audio. You guys hear that? All right. Again, I'm checking my edge. Oh yeah. I don't know if you see that. I doubt it. We've got some nail. When I did my little test right there, I even have it's bringing nail right there when I check it against do the old thumbnail check. So now that was step 3. You're going to turn this little dial right here, and again, this is called the Worksharp field sharpener, and you have a little red dial right back here for your ceramics. This thing will even do fish hooks, folks. Has a ceramic on there that you fishermen can sharpen fish hooks. Actually, it's right there. See this? I don't know if you see it, but there's one with a groove in here. We're going to turn past that. It has like a little J, which is a picture of a hook on this dial, and that actually will sharpen your fish hooks. But we're going to turn all the way up here. Matter of fact, these things, I'll show you what I'm talking about. We have F is where I'm at right now, fine. There's that little fish hook. And we have C over here for coarse. Don't know if that's coming through. Hope it is. But we're on F for fine, or finished ceramic. So we're going to get back down here. And we are almost done, folks. Stay with me. Get our angle once again. Nice and slow. Try not to roll that edge off. Same thing. Keep your angle. At this point, you really don't need heavy pressure at all. This is just a little more. I know some people say just the weight of the knife, the weight of the blade. It's a little more than that. I put a little more than that. I put just ever so soft of down pressure on this thing. But basically almost toward the end, these last strokes, yes, it's going to be just basically the weight of the blade. You guys hear that? I'm going to shut up a minute and let you hear this too. Good audio. Let's take a look at that edge. We'll see. Again, I'm behind this camera. I don't know if that edge is coming through. Show you over here. This is what we've done to it. But to look at it, right here, I'm looking at it myself. Not bad. This is a quick sharpening. You guys might ding me right back here. And usually I pay more attention to this. I actually usually start right there and I actually come down a little bit. I get my angle and I'll come down a little bit on that stone, just where you can get this right back here by this ricasso. On this particular sharpening, I can see that it's not quite as uniform as the rest of it is. It got a little thin back here, and that's simply because I didn't start good enough. I kind of started right here, just on the stone, if that makes sense. If you can see right here, I'm not all the way back. This is what I'm talking about. I would lock in here and I would come up just enough right there, and that'll get that very back part of your ricasso here. But overall, folks, this is just a tutorial. I can fix that, and actually I will fix that. Go back and hit that a little bit. But this is a pretty good edge. This is pretty even. Again, don't know if that's coming through on camera, but yeah. And so before, you see that old thing there, and that wasn't even a cut. That was just me pushing a piece of metal, and you guys seen I was chopping away at my finger. Don't do that at home. I knew this knife was butter dull, but let's see what we got. You guys like the little swirlies? How's that? How's that? Folks, we have a sharpened knife. I have no idea how long this video is right now. We can do this all day. We can do this all day. This knife is sharp. You guys seen how I did it. The Worksharp field sharpener. I promise you I won't do the finger trick now, because we'll be seeing red. And before, you could hack away on your finger with this thing, and all it would be good for is to scratch an itch, because it would not have cut you. We have a sharp knife here, folks. So this is how I do it. Adam, I'm calling you Adam. That's official. Nobody knows you. I call him late. I've called him late since we were in high school. He's late to me, but Adam, Kaylin, Adam is his real name. His daughter is Kaylin. This was for you. Hopefully some of you other guys got something out of this. This is my new knife. This is going in my pocket today. It is now sharp. I'm going to go back and work on that hilt a little. Not claiming, folks. Never heard me say I'm a master sharpener by any stretch, but I have a knife that's in my that's sharp right now that I would absolutely carry. I will be finishing this up on a leather strop. Again, this thing has one. It's not the best. Mine's kind of ragged and beat up, and honestly, I just have better strops. So what am I going to do with this knife when I cut off this video? I'm going to work on that hilt that I should have done in the video some. Get this last little bit down here by this ricasso to my liking, and I'm going to strop this thing, and we're going to put this thing in our pocket. Dwayne, thank you, brother, for this. I love it. To all my followers out there that went through this ramble, God bless you. Hopefully some of you got something out of it. Folks, these things are everywhere. I sharpen like literally all my pocket knives with these things. They're like 30 bucks, $25 to $35, and they're everywhere. The Worksharp field sharpener, get you one. They're portable. You can throw them in a pack. You can almost throw them in your back pocket. And as you just seen, this thing was dull as a gourd, and I could do the arm hair thing here, but I promise you, folks, this is a sharp knife. And yeah, thank you, folks. Anybody who stuck in there, this was a requested video, so I made good on it late. Kaylin, that one's for you. Hopefully some of you other guys learned a little something. God bless you. Thank you for following me. The music will play. I don't know where my finger is right now in here because I'm doing this tabletop that I ain't good at. There you go. Somewhere right over there. You know what to do. Like and subscribe. God bless. HT signing off.